Thanks.
Well, my next guest is a Democratic congressman from Virginia, Soares Subramanyam, joins us now from Washington. Congressman, thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us on the show. Let me pick up with really what we're leading off at the top of this hour, which is these executive orders that we are expecting at some point to come from this administration. Executive orders including the dismantle of the Department of Education. Your reaction, sir?
Yeah, right now, there's this effort to downsize the government, and what they're actually doing is dumb-sizing it. They're making it so that we're getting rid of really, really highly qualified federal employees who run this country and help us get food to kids who are hungry, help us get programs that are essential to our military, essential to our economy, up and running smoothly, regardless of who's president. So this is work, and this is an effort that could do damage for many, many years if it's implemented.
And I'm not sure, Congressman, whether you heard my introduction there. We're only 2.5 weeks or so into this administration, and already we've seen President Trump and Elon Musk pretty much barreling full speed into these government agencies that you have just mentioning there. We mentioned USAID. Obviously, we've seen as well education. And FBI, as we heard from our Josh Campbell. This is creating so much confusion, so much chaos. Just give us a sense of what you have been hearing from employees, because I know you had a town hall. Give us a sense of what they have been telling you, Congressman.
You know, we had a town hall yesterday, and we expected about 50 people, maybe 100 to show up. We had hundreds. We lost count of the number of people. We had an overflow room in the lobby of the building, and people didn't leave. They stayed because they're scared, they're angry, they're hurt. Many federal workers, they don't care who's president. They just want to do the work for the people. And it's not even about themselves. They can go get good work in the private sector. They're worried for our country right now and the ramifications of what's happening. USAID is a great example. It helps make this country and this planet safer with the work that they do. And by actually cutting off funding and cutting off that program, we're all less safe. And there's more extremism that could develop from it because of the desperation of the people USAID serves. So as the ranking member of the Oversight Subcommittee on Military and Foreign Affairs, I'm going to call for a hearing. I want answers on what's going on, why this is happening, and what we can do about it.
And on that point, Congressman, you are in the Oversight Committee. How have you been briefed at all? Has this caught you by surprise? Not just the fact that it's happening, but the speed in which this is happening. Are you being briefed at all from DOJ?
First, this shouldn't be a surprise to people. President Trump tried to convince people that Project 2025 wasn't his agenda. He said, that's not what I want to do. And he didn't talk about this issue very much on the campaign trail. So this is not why people elected him. So I'll start with that. But yeah, a lot of the information I'm getting is actually from the people that I serve, the federal workers and the federal employees and contractors who are telling me what's going on. I mean, it's some of the most bizarre stories you'll ever hear. But more than that, we're not getting much information at all. In fact, I tried to go into the USAID building yesterday and I was turned away. And I'm going to go to the Treasury Department building and see if they turn me away. They're turning away members of Congress and the people that work in those buildings, but they're not turning away the DOJ people. They're not turning away the administration people. It's just very, I'm just puzzled by this whole situation. And a lot of people have asked me, what are you going to do about it? And said, everything I possibly can. And so that's what our plan is.
What are we likely to see from the Democrats at this stage? What are you advising those federal workers? Is this going to be through the courts? I mean, we heard for the executive order potentially on dismantling education. That needs approval from Congress. Is there a way that President Trump can go around this?
Well, we're going to make crystal clear that the administration cannot infringe upon the balance of power in this country. Congress has its duties, it has the power of the purse, and it has the power to pass statutes and implement them. And the implementation of them is the job of the executive branch. They're overstepping their bounds. And so we're going to make that clear. And we're going to also make sure that we call for hearings and we do everything we can to investigate what's going on.
And just help us make sense, Congressman, on this side of the pond. How is it possible that a man who is not an elected official, who's not a federal employee, who hasn't been approved by the Senate to a leadership role in government, how is he allowed I'm talking about Elon Musk here, to yield this much power?
Yeah, he's not allowed to. That's the reality of it. A lot of what's happening is illegal, it's unconstitutional, and it's not allowed. But he's being enabled by this administration and by really by congressional Republicans who have said that, we don't, if Trump likes it, we like it, right? I'd like to see more Republicans start to think independently and look at this critically and understand the impact it will have even on their own constituents. I'd like to see more of that too. And if the job is to make government better and more efficient, those are things that are bipartisan, and Democrats can work with Republicans on that. But we will not stand for unconstitutional actions. We will not stand for illegal actions.
Congressman, I appreciate you taking the time to speak to us. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.